Well, yesterday at this time, WREL brought you what appears to be a recorded confession in connection with a local murder case.
This is the case involving Blake Deven of Fayetteville. She's accused of killing her two adopted children, Blake and London.
At last check, charges against the person accused of dismembering the bodies have not been announced. WREL Investigates Chris Lovingood went to a former judge to explain why that person has not been charged.
In the recording WREL obtained, the acts the caller described are graphic. They appear to only confess to dismembering and getting rid of Blake Deven's body, no mention of London. As for why that person has not been charged, former Superior Court Judge Carl Fox says there's likely legal strategy at play.
On June 26th, when Fayetteville police announced Blake Deven was arrested, accused of murdering two of her adopted children and forcing someone to dismember a body, I asked if that someone would be identified.
You mentioned that there is someone else in the home who had helped. Who was that?
We're not going to get into specifics about that.
And at last check, charges still have not been announced regarding someone else dismembering one of the bodies.
My hunch would be that this person is a cooperating witness.
Carl Fox was a Superior Court judge for 15 plus years and served as district attorney for Chatham and Orange counties. I played him the recording of the confession.
She literally had me buy a trash can, dude, and keep him in there for a month.
In the recording, the caller sounds frantic and upset when they admit Blake Deven had them dismember and get rid of Blake Deven's body.
I had to watch his body burn.
But you have to believe that someone who would participate in something like that would be doing it under some degree of duress and coercion, and not just because they were tra-la-la wanting to cut someone up just to see what it was like.
Nathan Mitchell is the person who made the recording. He says he's known the caller for years, and he made the recording because the two were having a previous separate conflict.
Everyone who was involved in this needs to be held accountable.
But Carl Fox says it's not always that simple.
When you have a case that's this old, that's either going to be solved one of basically two ways. You're going to have a witness come forward who was there or got a statement from the person, the perpetrator, or you're going to have DNA evidence confirm who it is.
Fox says from a prosecutor standpoint, you need to ask, who do you want to convict the most? And what level of responsibility do they have in the crime?
You don't get to have your cake and eat it too.
This QR code on your screen will take you to WREL.com. That is where you can listen to the recording. I want to be transparent and say it is not in its complete form because the caller has not been charged. And so we wanted to be fair in that regard by masking identifying comments and their voice too. For WREL Investigates, I'm Chris Lovingood.
WREL did reach out to Fayetteville Police and the Cumberland County District Attorney to learn if the caller in the recording would be charged. We have not yet heard back.